All right.
Welcome back, everybody. Dukes and Bell bringing you behind the curtain a little bit as we talk about what's going to happen on the show coming up today, a little bit, and some things that are not going to happen on the show. Of course, Danny Lewis is our executive producer. Big O is here as well as we are getting ready for this afternoon. By the way, Mike, we're going to be out today. Tell them where.
Yeah, man, we're hitting the road. We are coming. We're going to be up 400 way, man. It's the Buffalo's Cafe on Buford Highway. So that's just less than a mile east. Yeah, get your east and west. Yeah, man, Buffalo's Cafe and coming, man. Great crowd. We've been up there. This is like our third or fourth time up there, Carl. And we got some serious day drinkers. So come on and join the fun. And maybe people getting off the lake or getting off of work, join the party 2 to 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to start first with some of your comments because you guys can comment. Thanks for being here, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, however you're doing this live. Thank you guys. But we know you're commenting on some of the things that are going on and some things we're talking about. Dede, what were some of these comments, man?
Obviously, you guys had a great sit down with Raheem Morris yesterday, and one listener says you guys need to relax, talking about you and Mike. You want to see a perfect game executed in 1 week. Relax. Let's see what we look like after the bye week.
Bullshit. I want to see people do their freaking jobs, okay? Everybody else, it's first week, and we can debate whether they should have been practicing or had a preseason, I should say, regular crowd, the starters in a preseason game, because we saw, Carl, them trying to simulate. You can't simulate in practice.
Can't do it.
With all due respect, I just want to see Koo do his job. I want to see guys tackle. Coach even said it. He was very, let's be honest, he was not pulling punches. He said Caden Ellis missed a sack and missed an interception. We actually missed 3. Do your job. So, no, I don't expect perfection. I expect people to do their job today.
I want to win every game. So when you have a chance to win a game and you don't, it comes back to bite you in the ass at the end of the season. It always plays out this way. Right. So we last year took for granted we swept the Bucs and we were like, yeah, we're going to win this division. And then Mike one day came in and said, we could still lose this division. And I said, what? And then we lost the damn division. Right. I want to win every game. So, no, it's not about perfection, and we're not going to calm down. We are going to push everybody in that building to excellence. Every day we talk about them, guys. Every day we're there. Every day we're discussing the Falcons. It is about how good can this group be. I don't know if it's a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't know if it's an NFC Championship caliber team, but that's our job. That's what we're going to do. So when you guys are like, y'all need to chill, man, we got plenty of season. You said that shit last year.
Right. It's 17 weeks. I mean, this isn't baseball. Okay. You remember Braves fans? It's only the start. We went 0-7 to start the season. That pretty much told you where this season was going. And if we're honest, right? The West Coast swing, Dodgers and Padres. Yep. You could lose this division because, are we going to win 11 games? Last year, the lowest seeded wild card won 11 games, Day. So these games all matter. So, guys, if you're not sweating to losing to a divisional rival, you're a candy ass. I'm sorry.
Well, and here's the other part, by the way, real quick. The whole winning 11 games or not winning this division, you better be averaging 30 points a game. That's what the Commanders did last year, right? Your offense better be so prolific that you're in every game and you're winning close games. Guess what our reputation is? We don't win close games, and our offense hasn't been prolific. So we didn't see that in week 1. Guys, we scored 24 points, 20 some odd points. It's just that's not enough right now. And I know we had some injuries and all that, which is why we're concerned about the Vikings, which we'll talk more about today incoming at Buffalo Cafe. Make sure you come out and join us. But for all that fanfare, man, look, we're just trying to make sure that we're on point with this team, and we want the best.
All right, guys, we'll be moving along here. Obviously, we got our daily downloads today. You touched on the Commanders. We got Thursday Night Football, week 2. Starts tonight.
Should I start Jordan Love? Jordan Love, should I start him, Carl, against that Commanders defense, or should I just roll the dice with other options? Other options, by the way, J.J. McCarthy on Sunday.
Yeah, look, and I know that's personal. But
I hate having a player playing against the Falcons.
I don't think the Commanders' defense, this is their issue in the offseason. Guys, there were only 2 other teams that was worse last year against the run. You know what covered all this up? Jaden Daniels. Right. So I want you to go back and think about the last couple of games at the end of the season, not just the Eagles game, all right? Even the Lions game, how many points they gave up, how many yards they gave up. Their defense was not the reason they got there last year. So have they fixed all those issues? Because in the offseason, that was the talk in Washington. We got to get the defense right. And Dan Quinn he's not calling a defense, even though we know he's involved. I feel like you need to start Jordan Love. Last week, the Packers defense really impressed me. Look, I like the Packers to win. This spread, though, Mike, it's 3. I might go Commanders to cover the 3, but I think the Packers ultimately win the game.
Now, I hear what you're saying. They're one of the best run defenses, but they're one of the worst pass defenses. Commanders, I should say, are one of the best pass defenses for Jordan Love. They allowed only 189 yards. This is last season, mind you, but only 189 yards per game. So under 200, Day. I'm a little nervous in the service with the Jaden Daniels, but I should say with Jordan Love, because Jordan Love is a guy that is he now ready? Now do we consider him that second tier? Is he? I don't get in that conversation. That takes forever. But Carl, where is he? Like 10 to 15 as far as your QBs?
Well, before he got hurt last year, people were talking about him being the MVP candidate, right? I mean, remember he gets hurt in Brazil, and then it took weeks for him to get right, and it felt like, he never kind of really got back on track. He had a mid-season last year. I didn't think he had a superb or a super season. But I like Jordan Love's game a lot, Mike. I don't know. He's not in the Lamar, Josh, Mahomes conversation, right? So is he better than Burrow? No. Okay, so then is he in the next tier, which would be what? And I'm throwing Jaden Daniels in there just based on last year. He's probably a top 10 quarterback, man. Look, CJ Stroud was there, and now he's taking a step back, I feel like. It's kind of interesting that you said that, because I do think he has something to prove, but this Thursday night game is going to be a really good one. And by the way, we have it, don't we, Day? Don't we have it on the radio station, Thursday Night Football?
That's right on 92.9 The Game. Make sure you tune in for that. And we got your football coverage all weekend, honestly, so you won't miss a snap on the station. So, and I got, by the way, we didn't really touch on the fact that Green Bay does have Michael Parsons, too, on defense, who I have in my fantasy.
You got to account for him. If anybody knows him, it's Dan Quinn, right? Dan Quinn really made his career in Dallas when he was getting him moving him around all those places, and he's getting all those sacks. I don't know, man. I mean, like, that's going to be interesting. He played 29 snaps, got a sack last week. Does he play more tonight than he did last week? I'm curious to see, but it should be a really good game, Mike. I'm starting Jordan Love. I think your options are better, but I hear what you're saying about McCarthy. But remember, he doesn't have Addison. If he had Addison, I'd probably start McCarthy. Right,
but that's my thing about, we spent time yesterday. You'll hear more of the conversation about, the finish rate. And I know Dave Archer brought it up on Tuesday with us, and we talked about it with Coach Ra. But Ra said it, stats are for losers. Either you get the quarterback on the ground or you don't. So we did limit the Bucs from their season average on offense. But when the game was on the line, we couldn't get the quarterback on the ground. So, and this is a road game. And on a Sunday night in Minnesota, it's going to be electric.
It is.
All right, guys. We'll move along. Obviously, we also got our weekly check-in when we kick off the 4:00 hour with Miss Barbara Dooley. The Dogs get ready for Tennessee. Obviously, great story time with her. But one thing I took note of, something that she can share a little more light on with us, is the fact that Vince has had his share of dominance over the balls. Now, quite not as many games as Kirby, especially particularly since Heupel has taken over, but Dooley himself 4-2-1 against the balls.
It's a great record. I mean, they didn't play as much, obviously, back then. But this has turned into one of the premier SEC matchups year in and year out. Vol fans look forward to it. Dog fans look forward to it. Problem is, you got to go back to 2016, that Joshua Dobbs Hail Mary, right? I don't know where you guys were. I'm watching.
I was in the stadium when it happened.
I lost my blank because I was like, did that just happen? They win 34-31. I mean,
because Georgia had gone literally the series before and got a long touchdown, and then you had the personal foul call on the kickoff, and then Dobbs made magic happen with Jawan Jennings.
That's right. We gave Kirby crap for that because that set the Hail Mary up. But you got to, I think that's 2016. You got to go back to that moment, the last time the Vols really felt like, we got you. So, but I can't wait to talk to Barbara. She's got great stories, Mike, and I'm sure she's got something for us today as we get ready for Tennessee.
Yeah, man, and we talked about it, the sort of the way things were at Georgia once they started playing every year, how Ray Goff couldn't beat Tennessee and Donnan couldn't beat Tennessee. And Mark Rick, we was talking about, the hobnail boot, Veron Haynes and all that. Randy Mack was part of that. And then all of a sudden, boom, big winning streak. At one point, Tennessee had won 9 in a row, Carl, against Georgia, which is part of the reason why Donnan got. And then, as we know, it's an 8-game win streak for Kirby. So I think Tennessee, as we said, we'll talk more about it today and tomorrow. I don't know what to make of Georgia. I don't think even Georgia fans know what Georgia is right now. As we said yesterday, you believe that Kirby's got such a machine that they can flip a switch. and get it in character. Again, in 100,000 extra maniacs screaming Rocky Top, that's a tough environment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, I think you can do that with good teams. I just don't think you can do that with mediocre teams or teams that have not shown the propensity to be great at any moment. We got 2 games. The reason why everybody's looking at Tennessee in this game, and again, a lot of these pundits could be wrong. They've looked the part. They're scoring points. They're dominating the early opponents the way you would think a top-ranked team should. And so do you just throw that out of the window and go, well, Tennessee is not any good? I don't know. But I agree with you. Look, I keep getting asked this question, Mike, about Georgia and how good do you think they're going to be? I think we're going to find out a lot this weekend. If they dominate Tennessee, and I mean dominate, that's a double-digit win, guys. That's, double digits. Then maybe we start looking at this team a little bit differently, because I do think quarterback play's got to step up, man. I don't care. If the Dogs come in here and run 300 yards on Tennessee, that's a different conversation. There is going to be a moment, Mike, where Gunner's going to have to make some plays. And can he get it done? And if he does, Stetson Bennett style, then I'll start to believe a little bit more in this offense.
But after all that hype with Nico, and we'll get into this, more again, don't forget, guys, Friday, we're going to be at Twin Peaks, Chattanooga, East Ridge, exit 1 if you're heading up to Knoxville. But, maybe Aguiar, who would have thought, getting a quarterback from UCLA via App State might be better than what Nico was after all the hype for him.
Well, you know what? Some of these guys, man, they think they can just use their natural talent to get out of every situation. Aguilar, to me, is like one of these worker kids, man. He comes in, he can play the position, but he's going to do the fundamental things. He's not he's not, infallible. He's only completing about 66% of his passes right now through 2 games. But again, they've dominated the opponents. He hasn't had to throw the ball like that, like he might have to against Georgia on Saturday. Yeah, I think Aguilar is good. I don't think he's special. And is good going to be good enough to beat Georgia? That's really the question, because you needed a Hail Mary in 2016 to beat them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need more than just an average dude to get this done. The quarterbacks that have beaten Georgia, right? Tua, the Jalen Hurts of the world, like you go back and looked at the games they've lost, those guys have been special. That's why they gave Georgia hard times.
And then, Day, we're going to talk a lot about Tech, because that's a monster game. I hate the fact, guys, that Tech, Clemson, and Oregon, is a noon game. That should be under the lights, skyline in the background, everybody tuned up, ready to rock. But that's a noon start. I hope Tech fans bring the energy, because talk about long losing streaks, Carl. Clemson, 9 against Tech. This is one of those games, if Brent Key is going to take that leap this year. And I think Clemson's right for the picking, because they do not look elite right now either.
No, look, and if Dabo loses this game, call me crazy. We can start talking about them discussing maybe future opportunities with somebody else. I know they locked Dabo in for a long time. It seems like forever ago. He won those chips, and then they gave him a 10-year deal. And at the time, the whole fuss was, well, when Nick Saban leaves, he's going to be the replacement. You guys may not remember this, but they wrote into the contract they had to pay a lot of money to come get Dabo if it was Alabama. Well, Alabama's got Kellen DeBoer now. So I don't know if that's going to be an option, and I'm not saying he's going to get fired. But, Mike, the way this season has started, and you're supposed to be a national contender, a national title contender, and you lose to Georgia Tech on Saturday, I don't think that's a good look for Dabo.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see how it all goes. There is one thing, going back to Georgia real quick in your conversation with Miss Barbara Dooley when she joins us today. I really think we should recommend to her, after she dropped that nugget on us a couple of weeks ago about Gunner Stockton. I think she
dating her granddaughter, right?
Her grading her. So I think she needs to have him over to the house, bake him some cookies, have a nice sit down conversation with him, and really, stress the importance of his relationship and the outcome of Saturday.
You're gonna threaten the boy. You're gonna threaten the boy with the relationship, huh? That's what you're gonna do? That's funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because we kind of concluded what the boyfriend of, the father of the girlfriend is the former Tennessee coach, Derek Dooley. Didn't we kind of figure that out too?
Yeah, right.
I think so.
It all comes together. By the way, speaking of girlfriends, the Cavenders, one of the girls, Hannah, moved on from Carson Beck. Now the other one, we'll get it in Guy Talk. Is that going to put is there like a Kardashian curse type thing? Because she's now engaged to one of the Cowboys tight ends.
Good luck.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's there you go. Little TMZ coming up in Guy Talk this afternoon as well.
Okay. All right. Well, interesting. I guess they like football players. Hey, man, we are going to be incoming. Come on through Buffalo's Cafe starting at 2 o'clock. We got a lot to chop up. Make sure you're listening today, 2 to 6 right here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later on Dukes and Bell.